and welcome back to Actual English, everyone. I'm Jennifer Clyde. It's time for lesson 306, and we're going to begin a whole new category. We'll be talking about health, so today it's time for Health 1, and let's specifically talk about exercise. Do you exercise? Do you exercise on a regular basis? Where do you go to exercise? Did you sign up at a gym? Meaning, are you a member at a gym? Do you work out with a personal trainer, as we call them, PTs in Korea? But rather, I'd say please do try to say personal trainers. Do you work out in groups? Do you work out at home? Yeah, what kinds of exercises do you enjoy? Or what kinds of activities do you enjoy? Okay, we can talk about so many things when it comes to exercising. We'll talk about exercise once again today. So, as always, let's begin with our first segment, which is Actual Talk.
Kelly, how's the gym going for you today, these days?
Not bad. I'm learning a lot. I did notice there's a lot of myths about exercise going around that surprised me. So learning what not to listen to is part of my education, I guess.
Absolutely, filter it out, yeah.
Yeah.
I think regular exercise is very important. I mean,
yeah,
I try to do vigorous exercise of maybe a 5K, a 10K run per week and then football on the weekend. But also walk as well, gentle exercise, and keep moving. I think we're born to move. And your health is your wealth, really.
Yeah, well, that is vigorous, but I mean, when I mention myths, that actually ties into one of the myths. Is I notice a lot of women that feel like their weight is a concern, and if they don't eat fat, they eat a lot of non-fat foods, and they just do a lot of cardio, that's going to get them in shape, and that's counterproductive from what a personal trainer had mentioned. And I'm actually considering a personal trainer, just because there seems to be so much information and misinformation
Absolutely.
and mistakes, and I don't want to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Do you think personal trainers are worth it?
I think it depends on your view of exercise. I mean, I'm a fitness freak, so I get into exercise very easily.
A freak, huh?
Yeah, a bit of a freak. But I mean, to get you started, to give you a good base and the basics, it's good. But then after a while, I think once you're motivated, you don't need it because they're expensive.
No,
What do you think?
Well, I think they are expensive, and I think you're right. If they can stop you from hurting yourself and teach you an individual workout, like in Canada, we do have them, but it would be expensive to keep it up. So I think what you said makes a lot of sense, and I think I'll do exactly that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Enjoy.
I will.
I think these days I'm seeing more and more people hitting the gyms, going to places to work out, in groups especially. There's CrossFit and what else is there? There's CrossFit and some really interesting training programs that are offered everywhere, at gyms, even at certain clubs. I've been telling myself that I should work out as well, but I'm too lazy that I sign up at a gym and I never go there. So it's a waste of money. I need to do something to get back into shape. So I don't know what your story is, but we had the chance to listen to Gareth and Kelly's story about exercising. So let's take a look together. Here we go. Gareth says, Kelly, how's the gym going for you these days? You may wonder, how's the gym going? Is the gym going anywhere? Is the gym moving anywhere? That's what you could think or might think. Okay, some of you might say, is the gym moving? Are they talking about moving to a different gym? No, that is not true. You know how we say, how's it going? How are you doing? How's it going? How are things going? Okay, it's the same thing. We're asking how the gym is going. How's the gym going for you? Meaning, what is it like? How is it going to the gym that you signed up at, perhaps? So, Kelly says, not bad. I'm learning a lot. So she's learning a lot at the gym. I did notice there are a lot of myths about exercise going around that surprised me. So there are myths about exercise. Okay? Now, what is a myth? M-Y-T-H. A myth is, I guess, a widely believed, something that is widely believed, but it's false. It's not true. Okay, it's like a false story or a false belief. That is what a myth is. So she's saying that she did notice. She has heard a lot about myths concerned with exercise. Exercise-related myths that are going around, meaning that are, just people are talking about, I guess, that are spreading, going around. So, learning what not to listen to is part of my education, I guess. Now, she said that she's learning a lot. Now, she's learned that people, what they say, should not be concentrated on too much. She says learning what not to listen to is part of my education. So this is what she has learned. Now here, this is our pattern for today, our very first pattern. Learning what not to listen to basically means to learn not to focus on or concentrate on what other people say. Okay, it means to be able to filter things out. Okay, say, okay, don't pay attention to this. It's what people are saying. It may not be true. So learning what not to listen to is something that she is learning at the gym. Now, Garrett says absolutely. Filter it out. They're myths. They're not true stories or true beliefs. They're false beliefs. Filter something out. Now, in this situation, it can mean to just forget, okay? We can filter spam mail, right? So we may have spam mail box and, of course, inbox. We can have spam mail filtered out into our spam mailbox. They're filtered out. They're scanned and they're filtered out. But filter out can also mean to spread gradually, to leak. Like how information leaks sometimes. Rumors can filter out slowly, gradually spread, okay? So filter out can have several definitions. But here he's saying, forget it. Don't pay attention to it. Filter it out. Filter it out. Believe parts of it, but don't believe 100% of it. I think regular exercise is very important. And he says, I try to do vigorous exercise of maybe a 5-kilometer or a 10-kilometer run per week. Okay, let's break it up. He says, I try to do vigorous exercise. Vigorous, full of vigor is one way of putting it. Energetic is a synonym. So we're talking about really hard workout. Okay, vigorous workout. Vigorous exercise of maybe 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers per week. So this is how much he runs every week. And then football on the weekends. But also walk as well. Okay, gentle exercise. This is something that's not too extreme. Okay, subtle, gentle. Keep moving. So these are some key words you should pay special attention to. We're talking about vigorous exercises, not gentle, the opposite of gentle exercises. A run per week, and then there's football that he plays on the weekends. He also walks, and what about gentle exercises? He also enjoys gentle exercises, and he tries to keep moving. He's not a couch potato. I'm a couch potato, which means I enjoy sitting on the sofa, relaxing and watching television. I'm not very active. I don't like to move around. But Gareth, he's the type that likes to exercise. He keeps moving his body. So he's a very active person. I think we're born to move, and your health is your wealth, really. Now, this, I would say, is very important. Keep it in mind. Okay, let's take a look at it once more. Your health is your wealth. Health, wealth, they rhyme. What does that mean? Your health is your wealth. You're saying that your health is more important than wealth. Okay, or health is as important as wealth. But I would say health is more important than wealth, right? It's more important than money. So, moving on. Now, Kelly says, well, that is vigorous. It's not easy. That actually ties into one of the myths, okay? Ties into, agrees with, okay? She says, I notice a lot of women that feel like their weight is a concern, okay? That are concerned about their weight, and they think if they don't eat, thus, if they starve themselves or eat a lot of non-fat foods and just do a lot of cardio, meaning cardio exercises, okay? Exercises where we run on the treadmill, exercises that get our heart to pump, okay? That's going to get them into shape. All right, get into shape. So what she's saying, she has noticed a lot of women, okay? Now, pronunciation is very important. W-O-M-E-N is a plural form of woman, right? It's women. So a lot of women feel that their weight is a concern. Some women say, oh, I'm too fat. I'm overweight. Okay, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to eat non-fat foods and just do a lot of cardio. A lot of cardiovascular exercises. And by doing so, they think that they can get into shape, become healthy, for example. And that's counterproductive from what a personal trainer had mentioned. Okay, so she's saying that's the opposite of what my personal trainer had told me. Okay, counterproductive is another word for meaningless or the opposite of the desired effects. So you're saying that's the opposite of something. It's counterproductive. That's the opposite of what I heard from my personal trainer. I'm actually considering a personal trainer. Just because there seems to be so much information and misinformation, meaning wrong information, I don't want to make mistakes. And then she asks a very important question. She asks Gareth, do you think personal trainers are worth it? Okay, are they worth your money? Are they worth it? I think it depends on your view of exercise. It depends, okay? It depends. They could be good, they could be bad. Now, he says, I'm a fitness freak. Okay, I'm a fitness freak, so I get into exercise very easily. Get into, okay? He gets absorbed. He really falls into, he really enjoys exercises. He gets into it. He can focus or concentrate on the exercises very easily, okay? But he says, I am a fitness freak, okay? Freak, this word itself, freak, means just a very strange person. It's not a good word. You don't want to call somebody a freak. If you say, oh, he's a freak, you're saying he's crazy. He's really strange. She's a freak. Oh, she's crazy, okay? But here it's used in a different way. If you say that you are a something freak, such as a fitness freak, you're saying that you are just crazy about it, okay? So if you're a fitness freak, you're crazy about fitness. You're crazy about exercising. You love to exercise, all right? Now, so Kelly says, a freak, huh? That bad? You're crazy about fitness? Yeah, a bit of a freak, kind of, he says, but to get you started, to give you good base and the basics, okay? They're good, but then after a while, once you're motivated, you don't need them because they're expensive. Okay, I made a few corrections, two actually. He's talking about personal trainers because Kelly has just asked him, do you think personal trainers are worth it? Are they worth my money? Should I pay that much money for a personal trainer? What's your opinion? And so Garrett says, well, I'm a freak, a fitness freak, so I probably would pay a personal trainer, but I don't know, it depends. Now, they will get you started. They will give you a good base, okay? Foundation, for example. They will teach you the basics, okay? And he says I say even better, there. Because we're talking about personal trainers in general, okay? So they're good. Personal trainers are good, but then after a while, once you're motivated, you don't need them. Okay? Personal trainers, because they're expensive. Yes, they can be expensive. So this is Gareth's, it's his opinion. You may disagree, but this is what he thinks. And then he says, what do you think? Now he's asking Kelly. Kelly says, well, I think they are expensive. And I think you're right. So she agrees with him. And she says, they can stop you from hurting yourself. That's right. They can stop you from hurting yourself, or they will teach you how to protect yourself. And they will teach you an individual workout. That's right. They can teach you an individual workout. So I think what you said makes a lot of sense, and I think I'll do exactly that. Do exactly that. Do as you said. And that brings us to an end to the conversation. So, what are they saying? Kelly's trying to get into exercising. She's thinking of maybe working with a personal trainer, but she was confused. So she asked for Gareth's advice, and he gave Kelly his advice. It really depends on you. You should decide. So she said, they can help, they can teach you, they can stop you from hurting yourself, meaning they can teach you to protect yourself while working out. And they can teach you individual workouts, activities or exercises you can do on your own. So I think they can be helpful. Okay, let's take a listen to the actual talk conversation one more time.
Kelly, how's the gym going for you today, these days?
Not bad, not bad. I'm learning a lot. I did notice there's a lot of myths about exercise going around that surprised me. So learning what not to listen to is part of my education, I guess.
Absolutely, filter it out, yeah.
Yeah.
I think regular exercise is very important. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it is.
try to do vigorous exercise of maybe a 5K, a 10K run per week, and then football on the weekend, but also walk as well, gentle exercise, and keep moving. I think we're born to move, and your health is your wealth, really.
Yeah, well, that is vigorous, but I mean, when I mentioned myths, that actually ties into one of the myths. Is I notice a lot of women that feel like their weight is a concern, and if they don't eat fat, they eat a lot of non-fat foods, and they just do a lot of cardio, that's going to get them in shape, and that's counterproductive from what
Completely
a personal
agree.
trainer had mentioned. And I'm actually considering a personal trainer, just because there seems to be so much information and misinformation
Absolutely.
and mistakes, and I don't want to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Do you think personal trainers are worth it?
I think it depends on your view of exercise. I mean, I'm a fitness freak, so I get into exercise very easily.
Freak, huh?
Yeah, a bit of a freak. But I mean, to get you started, to give you a good base and the basics, it's good. But then after a while, I think once you're motivated, you don't need it because they're expensive.
No,
What do you think?
Well, I think they are expensive, and I think you're right. If they can stop you from hurting yourself and teach you an individual workout, like in Canada, we do have them, but it would be expensive to keep it up. So
Yeah.
I think what you said makes a lot of sense, and I think I'll do exactly that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Enjoy.
I will.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for our next segment, Actual Expressions. As you may already know, it's time for our vocab words, and then let's move on to our patterns. The first vocab I have chosen from today's actual talk is myth. It's easy to pronounce, myth. Here we go. Myth, myth. What is a myth? A myth is like a false belief or an idea, but it's usually widely spread. What a lot of people believe in to be true, but it's usually false, not true. So fable is another word for it, legend, fairy tale. These are some synonyms for myth. What about vigorous? Here we go. Vigorous. One more time. Vigorous means active. Energetic. We were talking about vigorous exercises versus gentle exercises. Gentle, here we go. Gentle means moderate, serene, light. Okay, so think about gentle exercises as in light exercises and vigorous exercises. The difficult ones, okay? What about counterproductive? counterproductive. Okay, stress goes right there. Let's try it 2 more times. Counterproductive. Counterproductive. It means ineffective, maybe even meaningless. Okay? Moving on to our first pattern then. Learning what not to listen to. We're talking about learning how not to focus on or concentrate on what people are saying. Okay? Learning what not to listen to. Here we go. Children often have difficulty learning what not to listen to. Okay, children often do have a hard time learning what not to listen to because they see and they imitate. They hear and they do as the same. So what they hear actually becomes their words. You can move on to the next one. Filter out. To filter something out has several definitions, as I told you. You can say filter it out, which means, imagine, spam mail. You could forget about something. But filter out can also mean to spread gradually. Okay, be known gradually. Also means to leak. L-E-A-K, leak. So here we go. Rumors about Jim leaving the company have already started to filter out. Meaning what? It's already started to spread gradually. People are hearing the rumor little by little. Okay, one more time. Rumors about Jim leaving the company have already started to filter out. And finally, your health is your wealth, meaning your health is much more important than wealth. Okay? Signing up at a gym is expensive, but your health is your wealth. Okay, you gotta have your health to enjoy anything. And finally, quickly, fitness freak is what? Someone who is obsessed with exercising. Someone who is obsessed with fitness. Okay, who's crazy about exercises and working out. Ever since Dana started boot camp, it's like military camp or training camp actually, she became quite the fitness freak. Okay, ever since she started training camp, she became a fitness freak. She became crazy about working out. She became obsessed with fitness. Now you have a better idea? Okay, everyone, job well done.